Hey guys, and welcome to day 8 of my 30-day video series where I'm sharing blogging tips every day for pet businesses. So I'm a copywriter and content strategist, and I work specifically with people in the pet industry. Okay, so today I want to talk about how to repurpose your blog posts like a pro, because this is particularly useful so you're not constantly in creation mode, thinking about what you should be writing or talking about. You want to make every piece of content you create work really, really hard for you. And so you're able to send that out across different platforms and different formats and get that out into the world without much effort. So repurposing is a really, really great tool for that. So the first way that you can repurpose your blog post is by turning it into an email to keep in touch with your audience. So you can do that by simply copying and pasting the entire blog post into an email and then scheduling this with MailChimp, MailerLite, ConvertKit, whatever you use to stay in touch with your email list. Or you can copy and paste the first couple of paragraphs of your blog post and then link that to your blog post on your website to drive people to your website. That's also a good way to do it. So another way to repurpose your blog post is to take snippets of information within your blog post, excuse me, and repurpose those into social media posts. So there's a particularly useful tip within the blog post that you created at the beginning of the month if you're batch creating blog posts, which I suggest that you do because it's so much easier because you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the month. So take snippets from your 4 posts that you created at the beginning of the month and put those into that small piece of content into social media posts that you can then push out in a social media scheduler like SmarterQueue, Buffer, Hootsuite, whatever you use. And within that micro post, you can then link back to your original blog post. So it's a nice way to do that. And then you can create your blog posts and your social media posts for the entire month and schedule those out. And it's all been repurposed from just 4 blog posts. So it's really, really easy to do. The next way to repurpose your post is to create a Facebook Live or an Instagram story. So take the main points from your blog post and simply do a video about it to connect with your audience through video. You could also create a quote graphic for Instagram for your grid, and then within that link to your blog post from that image, or put it in your bio within Instagram, because that seems to be an issue with links in Instagram. It's a whole other ball game, that, but yeah. So that's another way to do it, is create graphics for Instagram. You could also create pin graphics for Pinterest, which is what I like to do. So use Canva or Photoshop if you're a pro, and create a nice vertical graphic, so it's more vertical than it is horizontal, and create a nice stunning image, and then just simply link to that from the pin graphic within Pinterest. So another thing that you can do is copy and paste your entire blog post and put it into LinkedIn Pulse. LinkedIn Pulse is a fantastic tool for creating long form posts rather than the usual short form posts when you normally write a post on LinkedIn. So you can just copy and paste your entire blog post and put it straight on LinkedIn. Done. Another way is to create a slide share presentation. You can create a PowerPoint presentation within PowerPoint and then just upload that straight to SlideShare. Another idea is to create an infographic if it's quite data heavy. Actually, it doesn't have to be data heavy. You can still create an infographic if it's just, tips. That's absolutely fine. But you could create an infographic. Yeah, no harm in creating an infographic if it's not just covered in numbers. That's fine. So repurpose your blog post into an infographic or a SlideShare presentation. Another way to repurpose is to just simply refresh old posts. So if you have lots of old blog posts and they could do with updating, adding content to them, or just making them the best they can possibly be, that's a good way to repurpose. And then you can send those out again to social media with your new content, your updated content. And then another way is to bundle all your, like a few related blog posts together into an ebook that you can maybe even offer as a lead magnet, or you could even possibly sell it on your website. That's an option. And then you can even repurpose your blog post into a podcast, a video series, or a webinar. So think about how you can get the most out of your content. And then a handy tool to keep recycling these posts so they're constantly going out on social media at different times and without you even having to think about it is to use SmarterQueue, because you can add them to an evergreen setting and they will keep looping around, and you'll be adding content to the end of your queue and it'll keep just looping around on automatic. It's fabulous. I love it. So there are a few great ways to repurpose your content to make it much easier for you to get your content out there on all these different platforms, all these crazy platforms that we need to keep up to date on. So I hope you enjoyed that and you found that useful. Again, if you have any questions, just pop them below and I'll get back to you later today. And I'll hopefully, if you fancy joining me again, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.